Episode 9 of Dexter, Original Sin has spoilers. The terrible, covert beginning of Brian Moser, also known as the Ice Truck Killer, has been made public in Dexter, Original Sin. Throughout its 8-season run, the original Dexter series did not leave anything to chance. We learned almost everything there was to know about Dexter at the end of the season, including the reasons for his first murder and his motivations. Even though the entire episode had many turns that provided additional insight into his past, there was still a 15-year lag between Dexter's first murder and our first encounter with him in the pilot. He also has a box of trophies, which documents his history of dozens of off-screen kills. A prequel series was created because Showtime wanted to find a means to continue the franchise in some fashion after Dexter was assumed dead at the conclusion of Dexter, New Blood. Dexter, Original Sin has many Easter eggs, and Providu denies the backstory for Dexter's whole facade, although it doesn't contain many significant revelations about Dexter himself, why he uses so much plastic, how he discovered M99, why he throws bodies into the ocean, and a lot more. All of the major disclosures, though, mostly concern other characters. Blood Drive, the 9th episode of Dexter, Original Sin, tells us a lot about Brian Moser. Brian Moser is the NHI murderer, a serial murderer who has been killing individuals using a variety of techniques. As was disclosed in the most recent episode of Dexter, Original Sin, Harry discovered the murderer was Brian, Dexter's estranged biological brother and eventual antagonist, when looking into the case. Given how little was known about Brian Moser before his debut in Dexter Season 1, it was a startling turn of events. After their mother was chained to death in front of them in a cargo container, Dexter and Brian were split up, and that was all we knew. After that, everything has been mysterious. But according to Dexter, Original Sin, the cargo container was not the site of the separation. Actually, Harry and Doris Morgan had custody of Brian for a short time. Harry wants to persuade his wife to adopt Dexter and Brian since he feels bad about Laura Moser's passing. Brian tries to suffocate a newborn Deb with a pillow one day, while Harry is at work, in order to stop her from crying. Brian lashes out in a violent outburst that disrupts the family when Doris reacts in fear and urges Harry to face him. After deciding that he has an uncontrollable darkness inside of him, Harry sends him into foster care, breaking up his relationship with Dexter. It's a little sad because Brian wants to spend all of his time with his family, especially Dexter. Luckily for Harry, Dexter was so little and traumatized that by the time he grew up, he had forgotten everything. He doesn't even know he had a brother or what actually happened to his mother. But Brian never forgot and was still fixated on getting back in touch with Dexter. After Dexter began killing people, Brian followed him around and observed him as he examined the several crime scenes he was in charge of. Indeed, the man in the restaurant in the 2nd episode of Dexter, Original Sin, was Brian Moser. This indicates that, even though it seemed unrealistic to some viewers before fans had access to all the evidence, fan theory was accurate. But with a variety of Easter eggs scattered throughout the season, it appears that Dexter, Original Sin, has been attempting to hint at the Ice Truck Killer. Thank you for watching.